good evening, Tuckahoe. Welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals for the Village of Tuckahoe for the month of September 2024. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Given the day, can I ask for a moment of silence, given it's September 11th? Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for doing that. Okay. First order of business, take attendance, please.
Member Coretta?
Present.
Member Fiore?
Present.
Member Brown?
Present.
Member Pirro? And Chairman Ringwald.
I am present. Number one will be the approval of the minutes of July the 10th. There were three of us here. Those that were here have a chance to check the minutes. Any questions,
No. All good.
problems?
No.
So that's Member Brown, Member Fiore, and Chairman Ringwald that were here. The other two, you need to abstain. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the July the 10th, 2024 meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Please poll those that were here.
Member Fiore?
In favor.
Member Brown?
In favor.
And Chairman Ringwald.
In favor. Thank you very much. Tonight's agenda is 34 Lake Avenue, seeking an area variance for a new addition, 174 Marbledale Road, to convert a, convert some business to some residential units. 137 Columbus Avenue, which was PM Collision, which is changing hands. They have adjourned for the evening. And 20 Underhill Street. They would like to convert a basement to livable space. So we will start with 34 Lake Avenue. The public hearing is still open on 34 Lake Avenue. Anyone from the public need to or like to make a comment regarding this approval? No one from the public has any comments. I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. All in favor?
In favor. Oh. Second.
Sorry, second.
Second.
Now all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Hi, so you guys are the owners, obviously. If you could just state your name and address
Yeah.
for the record, and then we'll proceed.
My name is Stephen McCann. I reside at 34 Lake Avenue, Village Tuckahoe.
Thank you. Has anything changed since our meeting in July?
No.
Seems so long ago. Sorry about the fact that we don't meet in August. All right. Questions?
Now, used to the trains going by? You okay with that?
Been there
Yeah.
for 3 years, so I don't
Okay.
even notice them anymore.
No other questions? You can
No.
have a seat. We'll go through this then. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't remember as a resolution in the form of the motion. Would they like to present it, please?
This area variance resolution, the application requested by Stephen McCann, whose address is 34 Lake Avenue, Tuckahoe, New York, Section 26, Block 4, Lot 7, for relief from the following sections of the zoning code. 5-1.6.3, expanding a nonconformity, and a 4-3.6 floor area ratio. Based on this application as submitted, the Zoning Board of Appeals finds and determines that the action herein is an unlisted action subject to the requirements of SECRA and its implementing regulations. 2, this Zoning Board of Appeals is in possession of all information reasonably necessary to make the determination as to the environmental significance of the proposed area variance application. And 3, that the action taken herein shall not have a significant adverse impact on the environment, and it is declared that a negative declaration is hereby adopted with regard to this action.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Nancy, please poll the board.
Member Coretta?
In favor.
Member Fiore?
In favor.
Member Brown?
In favor.
Member Pirro?
In favor.
And Chairman Ringwald.
In favor? Okay, proceed.
Applicant resides at 34 Lake Avenue in Tuckahoe. The applicant is seeking to construct a new rear addition to the premises. The floor area ratio for the district in which the property is located is 50%, and the applicant is seeking a variance to allow a floor area ratio of 50.9%. The increased floor area ratio will equate to approximately an additional 6 inches of living space. The request is de minimis and will have no impact on the surrounding properties. Therefore, recommendation is for the area variances to be granted as the benefit to the applicant of the area variance outweighs the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood. The applicant has demonstrated through its submissions and presentation that it has met all aspects of the 5-pronged test to the satisfaction of this board. The granting of the variances herein is granted on the condition that work under such variance be commenced and diligently prosecuted within 1 year of the granting thereof, failing which such variances shall become null and void.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Nancy, please poll the board.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor?
In favor. So that's it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good
Thank you
luck.
very much.
Mm.
All right, thank you. Have a
Take
good
care.
Enjoy your 6 inches.
It's, yeah.
night. 6 inches. Sorry, I really, that's 6 inches. Oh, yeah. Ugh. All right, the next item is going to be 20 Underhill Street. Is the applicant ready? And if so, please step forward, state your name for the record. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Andrew Collingham. I am the architect for 20 Underhill Street, the Fawn residence.
So what is it that you're seeking? Just if you could go over it for the sake of the board and the members of the public that happen to be here.
Yes, so this application entails converting an existing finished storage basement to habitable space to create more living space for the Fawn family. Currently, 20 Underhill is a 2-family house. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment over another 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. And the basement, which is connected to the first floor unit, like I said, is currently finished storage with a powder room, and also a shower pan and drain, a floor drain. So the idea here is to create more living space, a bedroom, as well as a full bathroom, so that extended family who come from out of town, as well as children, nieces and nephews, can have a place to stay, but most importantly, to have another shower. As I said before, it's only a 1-bed, 1-bath apartment above the basement that's connected, so anytime that extended family come, it's kind of difficult to have everybody shower in one bathroom. So that's really the purpose and the reason that we're here. This is an owner-occupied house. It's not an investment rental property. The owners have been there since 2007, and they're only looking to improve their living conditions in their home.
Do you have the drawings in front of you? Can you put them up on the board, please? Where's our cameraman? He's not in there?
He's there.
There we go. All right, if you could, grab the mic, please, and step up to the drawing, and just walk us through what you had just pointed out or discussed.
So this is the existing floor plan that's labeled as finished storage. There's a sliding glass door in the rear of the property for a second means of egress. So we positioned the bedroom towards the back of the house in that sliding glass door room so that we have that secondary means of egress. This is the existing powder room with a shower pan and a floor drain. So we would be just looking to install a shower body with a shower head to complete the full bathroom. And then these are the stairs, the existing stairs that are provide access to the first floor unit.
So the basement has access and egress. You can get in and out of the basement without
Correct,
going
there's
through the
this-
first floor?
Correct. There's a side door entrance to the driveway, as well as a sliding glass door in the rear, in addition to the stairs up to the first floor.
Okay, as mentioned to you in the work session, it is a reasonable request. However, this applicant was in front of us over 10 years ago, seeking the same variance,
Yep.
which we denied, for the sole reason that it makes it too easy to turn into a three-family house. We're not trying to,
Yeah.
prevent them from
Yeah.
allowing their relatives to stay.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that they are presenting tonight and went
Right.
through the work required to produce these plans and try to do this legally. I think if they were
Right.
going to rent it out as a three-family, to me, it would be easy enough to stick in a shower body and a shower head and skirt around the proper way to do it. But they decided that they want to do it legally and to be able to sleep at night.
I'm glad you brought that
Mm,
up. Excellent point. Would the applicant be willing to allow us a site visit?
Yes, they would.
Okay.
Question, was there ever a shower there? Or
I believe before they
No.
bought it, there was a shower.
there was a shower there?
Okay, I know, since I've been on this board, and I've been here 15 years, too long, that we have made, I'm aware of one exception, after we did a site visit and realized it could not possibly be turned into another apartment, and not so much this present tenant, we're talking about the future, and, they sell to somebody else. And your point is well taken. They didn't have to come in front of us, they could have just stuck the shower in, they could have turned it into a three-family house, and kept their fingers crossed that no one would ever know. So, thank you for doing the right thing, that's my opinion, and thank you for giving us, permission. We'll be in touch with them to do a site visit.
Absolutely.
I have no further questions. Anyone on the board?
No, that was mine.
I have none.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. So, like I said, we'll reach out through the building department to make arrangements for, only two of us can come and take a look at it.
Mr. Chair, if we could just open the public hearing.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a motion to open the public hearing on this particular variance, which is 20 Underhill Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone from the public who would like to step forward to comment regarding this request to convert a basement to a living space with a full bathroom? Anyone from the public would like to speak? Seeing none, I will make a motion to leave the public hearing open until our next meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Thank you. And last but not least, 174 Marbledale Road.
So, Mr. Chair, if I may, just for a
Go on,
second?
yeah.
Sure.
So, just for this board's information, so they're asking for a use variance, and we usually don't see a use variance before this board. And so all we're talking about is this specific property that they're asking for a use variance for the third floor to use it as residential. For this board to grant a use variance, there's basically a four-pronged test, so there's four specific things. The main being is that they need to show financial data here, that they can't use this property for any other reason but for the thing that they're asking the request for. So it's very, very specific. This will have nothing to do with the zoning on Marbledale. It doesn't apply to anything else, any other buildings, any other lots. It's this specific building, that specific floor, and they have to meet this four-pronged test, which the attorney will go through with you.
Very good. That's an excellent point, and it does, if you didn't say it, but you did so in so many words, it does not set precedents for anyone else to come in and say, well, you allowed you, therefore you must allow us. There is no such precedence. Thank you.
Okay.
You know the drill, state your name and for the record, and we'll proceed.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Stephen Accinelli. I'm an attorney at Veneruso, Curto, Schwartz. And Curto, on behalf of the applicant, 380 New Rochelle Road, LLC. This application involves property located at 174 Marbledale Road, which is located in a general commercial district. Here with me this evening is Leonard Brandeis, the project architect, who will also, with the board's permission, be presenting a little bit later on relative to the physical aspects of the project. The subject property consists of an existing and newly constructed 3-story commercial building, construction of which began in 2022 and was completed in 2023. The applicant requires a use variance to permit the proposed creation of 5 residential apartments, all of which are to be located on the 3rd floor. The balance of the building will be used for commercial purposes as permitted in the district. In order to grant a use variance, an applicant must demonstrate to the board the existence of an unnecessary hardship for the permitted uses in the district. This test consists of 4 factors. The alleged hardships relating to the property are unique. The fact that the newly constructed building has never been occupied since completion of construction, the space remaining unfinished throughout, and the inability to secure tenants for the permitted uses in the district render this property unique. The intended use and occupancy for the property and for which it was initially constructed and intended, and which was consistent with and in furtherance of the permitted uses in the district, no longer represents an appropriate, efficient, or economically sustainable model in this district. Times have changed, and market and economic conditions have changed now that render the property unique under the circumstances, and this fact is further supported by the considerable marketing efforts undertaken by the applicant and real estate professionals beginning in late 2022, continuing to the present. 2, the requested use variance, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. The requested use variance, due to its nature, will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. The building structure already exists, is in character with the neighborhood, and the addition of a small number of residential units would be less intense than the permitted commercial uses in the districts and would have no detrimental impact. There would be no change in parking patterns, noise, traffic, or other environmental or nuisance conditions, or adverse impacts upon the neighborhood. Number 3, that the alleged hardship was not self-created. Similar as to why this property is unique due to timing and market conditions, the facts supporting this application, inclusive of the economic report to be prepared, confirm and will further confirm that the hardship was not self-created. Most significantly, impacts from the COVID-19 pandemic and the demand and availability of certain types of businesses and appropriate properties in the subject area and within the parameters of the district, and the associated economic hardship as demonstrated over the efforts of the last 2 years, is and was created by marketplace forces beyond the control of the applicant, and as such, the hardship was not self-created. Lastly, the applicant cannot realize a reasonable return as shown by competent financial evidence. A report is in the process of being prepared, assessing the hardship, value, and financial return of the property as it is currently zoned and as it is proposed to be partially occupied as residential. We anticipate that the report will establish that the permitted district uses are currently too restrictive or otherwise inappropriate for the property, and the granting of the use variance will eliminate the unnecessary hardship. Once this report is completed, it will be submitted to the board for its review and consideration. Mr. Chairman, with that, I would request permission to turn the mic over to Len Brandis to walk the board through the physical aspects.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So what I have is the zoning map of where the building is right now. I don't know if he's going to zoom in on this for everybody.
There we go.
Okay. And the main zoning district, it's this one little area that is general commercial area. which is the only space in the village right now that has that area. This side is Eastchester, and these are all residential buildings that are up higher. And this part over here is, once again, this is all Tuckahoe over here. So the building we have over here and the next lot next to it is commercial. The lot after that is residential right now. There are more residential apartments and units over here on the area over here within Marbledale Road. Down further over here is also residential on Marbledale as well. If we look at the building over here,
Lenny, let me just ask a question. The two residentials to the left, that you face the building, to the left that you just pointed out, are they, Bill would know, what are they zoned for? Are they two-family, one-family, three-family? Two-family, thank you.
Family.
All right, that was my
Yeah.
question.
we
Thank you.
have the two buildings that are there. There are two family buildings. They exist.
Okay,
So it's only one lot over
right,
from us. So it's also there are other residential areas within that space.
thank you.
Across the street, we do have the Broken Bow Restaurant over there right now, and that is also it's been a very successful property, which has been very good. Down further, there's a restaurant that's hopefully going to be built at some point. That's part of the hotel. The nature of Marbledale Road has changed.
Yep.
I think that hotel has, surprised everybody that it's been doing so well and is always occupied, completely occupied. So we have a lot of people that are on here that it's not just necessarily going to be a small area, but we're looking for that third floor area. Now, the reason we have the third floor area is because we want to be able to get those apartments. We still want to use it as a mixed use. I do have photographs of the block. Oops, sorry. That. So here is the building. Here's the Broken Bow right across from it. So, and also you have the health club right down the road as well. So there's a lot of residential people that can be using this, that need to have additional spaces up here. The top floor has windows all around it, so that's why we worked on the top floor for using apartments, so that we can meet all air and light and egress ventilation and safety per New York State code. The second floor and that first floor storage area that's been in the back, which is mostly parking areas and garage areas, is actually the back of the building is part of a retaining wall, and there are no windows in the back of those areas. So it would be more difficult to create residential units there. And it's easy enough to make nice residential units on top. We are looking for 5 units up there. And setting up the people, so we set it up so we have our corridor that goes to the 2 means of egress, so we still have that going down with stairwells, so we have a stairwell going down over here and one over here. The entry is still in the front of the building, so there's no change to the character of the building itself. And these would be giving us nice size 4 2-bedroom units, and 1 1-bedroom unit is what we're showing and what we're proposing at this time.
I missed that. So five apartments,
It's 5 apartments total,
right,
4 2-bedrooms and 1 1-bedroom.
4 2-bedrooms, thank you.
So we're not looking for a lot of occupancy. We're looking for nice apartment units that we feel that we can sell. We've discussed this with real estate agents at this time, and they feel that this is very occupiable. So that's part of what we're doing also. We don't want to build something that's not going to be rented.
Well, yeah, I understand, but you built the building for commercial use, and I would assume did your homework.
We did at that time.
Yeah.
That was actually before COVID. When
Pre-COVID,
we first
right.
presented was before COVID when we presented. We didn't get into construction until 2022 because of COVID as well. But we had presented this a couple of years before that we were building this.
How many applicants have shown up, or prospective renters have shown up, commercial renters
I'll
have shown
to
up?
Bring the owner up, John.
Ballpark, I mean, 1, 5, 15, okay. 15, all right, thank you.
We've been trying different
Yeah.
types. We've been trying, as
Right.
I mentioned to you at the preliminary.
Medicals,
bring
everything,
commercial,
nothing.
to do bakery. I was trying to bring Martine's Bakery in there, trying to get everything that I could bring also as well. And it has so far been unsuccessful.
Well, you bring up an
We're working
excellent
within
point.
Market rates. We're not
Yeah.
going exorbitant rates either. We're looking for market rates, nothing that's high. We're not going above.
Everything, COVID changed everything.
It did. It changed. People are not working in their offices anymore. So it did change quite a bit.
What were the target tenants when you proposed when you undertook the project initially?
We were looking for commercial business rentals there, is what we were looking for. You know, we have it basically open space right now. We didn't subdivide the rooms, the floors right now. They're still all wide open floor areas so that we can separate. We're going to do build to suit. We were hoping possibly doctors' offices because there are medical facilities around that's been in the area, that's been growing in the area. and we have not been able to accommodate any of them. They have not been.
Need the mic. Need the mic.
Stay close to Len.
Yeah.
Just a quick follow-up, the applicant had originally expressed interest in occupying
Right.
partially occupying a portion of the building as
Right.
well. So that was also part of the original intention at the early stages of the project as well.
So there's no tenant at all? Seminara Construction or whatever they call themselves, they're not in there at all?
There's no one in there right now.
No, so it's empty.
It's empty. It has never been built out. It was marketed to the entire commercial community for any and all uses that were permitted in the district. Unfortunately, none of those efforts proved successful for financial reasons, basically under the circumstances, as I mentioned, related to interest, market conditions, and the like. So, and we have, as part of the supplemental submission, will include a documentation relative to the marketing efforts and the like that the board will be able to review and consider as well.
Okay.
What was the last time that you marketed it?
Well, it's still being marketed. Yes, correct.
Well,
So,
we don't need empty buildings, sorry. And we certainly all know we have enough of them. Right across the street, the infamous Never Coming Restaurant is one. The hole in the ground on Wallace and Lime Kiln, and again, that's, COVID related. And the one, my favorite, Lenny, on Yonkers Avenue, which can't get complete. So at least the building's complete. That's a good thing. But remaining vacant is not good.
Right, and the applicants, stopped work relative to the interior build-out because in order to be as flexible as they could with potential incoming tenants, they did not do any build-out whatsoever, so that if somebody came in and was interested in a portion of it, they could build out a portion of it. If someone wanted the entire floor, as an example, they could prepare the entire floor. But unfortunately, none of those discussions culminated in a deal, basically.
and what makes you all confident that converting that third floor to residential space will be a more lucrative avenue to take?
Oh, well, that's the consensus in the real estate professionals based on our discussions with them.
Is there evidence that can be furnished as part of the financial analysis that you're sharing specific to this area?
Yes, it will be included as part of that.
Thank you.
So if you were to rent out all 5 units, but not the first or second floor, would that make your client whole? Would that he be able to sustain that building just with 5 tenants in it and nobody else?
As I understand it, he would be able to pay the bills on the building and cover the overhead and the transaction costs if he was able to rent out the 5 apartment buildings.
Yeah, I'm just thinking ahead. So let's assume, the board approves this and you go ahead and put 5 people in, then you come back next year and say, oh, we can't rent the other 2 out. We want to turn the whole place into residential. And we go through the whole process again. That's
not
I'm thinking out loud.
understood. No, that's not something that certainly we're considering. I think that the applicant will be revisiting their own intended use of the property, so they may actually take part of it for themselves going forward. So it's a much lighter burden once you have the offset from the residential apartments upstairs going forward.
Thank you.
And if you were to bifurcate the use, are you confident there's sufficient parking on the premises?
I'm going to defer to Lenny on the parking issue.
Well, right now, we have 10 parking spaces that are covered under the building right now. And we feel that if we can get a variance for the parking where it's only 1 parking space per unit instead of 2 per unit, that would certainly work. This is still walking distance to Crestwood or to the Tuckahoe train station. So we feel that our tenants will be fine with just 1 parking space. Additional 5 space would be used for the 2nd floor. So.
I got a question. Would this be part of the Marbledale guidelines at all?
Right
Here?
here, it's very specific.
Specific?
Look at the 3rd floor.
Floor, that's it.
174 Marbledale.
Yeah.
Apply
Okay.
that test.
Okay.
Period.
That's it.
Any
Okay.
situations?
Correct.
That's all I need to know.
I just, out of curiosity, would like to know what the square footage is of the apartments.
That's on the drawings. Each one is there. If you have the drawings, I can read it through for you if you prefer. This unit has 1,475 square feet. These are larger apartments. This one is 1,320, 710, 1,200, and 985. So we are looking for nice apartment units there. And if we look at the apartments that went right up Main Street, I mean, they're all occupied. That was occupied very fast. This is not like, there is a need for residential units in this area.
Is it-
So that's why we talk to the real estate agents, and they feel that this is the right way to go, because there is a need for people to move in.
With that square footage, you should be able to get the income
Yes.
that you're looking for.
Would you be able to furnish like any reports or analysis that was done before the building was built to show that this type of building, you know, that you would be able to fill the commercial units that you were building?
I don't know if we still have any paperwork on that. But once again, people were going to offices in those days before COVID. And right now, there's many places that aren't using full-time, or a lot of people are working from home full-time right now. I have a lot of my clients that are now working from home. I have now a lot of home offices I'm building.
Understood. I mean, I think my point is that area, if and I don't think I've heard exactly what the intended use was when the building was built, but you know, Marbledale is not filled with offices. So I just, if to the extent that there's any information about what what led the decision to build this building, and I understand that a lot did change with COVID, but I think having the full analysis to say, well, it was understandable that the building was built and circumstances changed, and now that's why this change of use is needed would be helpful for the board's
certainly
assessment.
discuss that with
I mean, as best as
real
possible.
estate
I'm
people,
just to give us a full picture, because what what is being represented is that there's a change in
We did
circumstance.
have people that were interested in office space at that time.
All of that-
You mentioned doctors' offices, things like that. and
Sure.
all that just
Well, and I was going to ask
dried out
that.
at this time. We still, we do market to people. We're trying, but it just has not been working.
No, understood. And so to the extent, like sometimes people build with, I understand it's not a very large building. So when I say anchor tenant, I mean just somebody that expressed interest and you were relying upon that sort of income, and then their circumstances change. I just think having, best you can provide a full picture to the board with more information, the better.
We'd be glad to do that.
Do you have a relationship with the gentleman just north who put the massive retaining wall that he has not finished yet?
I do talk to him, yes.
So,
He's
my-
actually he's in attendance right here.
My understanding was he built that retaining wall to create parking spaces. So let's assume that you go forward, this is approved. Would you be able to get those additional 5 spaces from your next-door neighbor?
If he is willing to create a legal parking lot out of that space, I believe that's what has to be done.
Yeah, that was just,
By code.
it was hearsay that he was making all that space for parking. I don't know what he's doing with it.
Well, I know he needed more parking space, and I had discussed other options with him before, if you wanted the truth, before he built that wall. One of the options we were talking about doing is possibly doing a small strip mall in there as another option. At which point, then we might want to do apartments above that at some point. But
Yeah.
once again, it doesn't meet code today, so it doesn't meet what's in terms of zoning code. But we were discussing that at one point as well.
I'm just thinking ahead. Assume, you get the approval to do the apartments, and then you say, well, we want a 50% reduction in parking. It's a lot. So address
Yeah.
that now, is what I'm trying to say. Get
Okay,
the whole
we can-
package
we can
together.
Ask him and discuss that, absolutely. I know
Right.
across the street that Rocco does have a legal parking lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we can probably rent spaces from him as well, so.
No, it's full.
But
I live above
full.
him. I can see it's
Oh,
full.
you can see it's full there. So in that case, we'll check with Ron next door.
There you go.
Questions?
No more.
Anyone,
No.
you have anything else you want to present?
We have no further comments, Mr. Chairman.
I got it.
Questions?
No, I'm good.
No more.
Okay, so as far as the financial information, they know what they need to present?
I think it's whatever.
They did. I spoke to council, and they're well aware of what
Okay.
they need to do.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Public hearing?
Yeah, I just want to make sure, so you've gone through the 4 categories that need to be addressed. You did a very good job of that. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
I have no further questions, so you can have a seat and we'll open a public hearing on this.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to make a motion to open the public hearing regarding 137 Columbus Avenue. Would I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone from the public who would like to address this board regarding 137 Columbus Avenue?
No,
Please step
Marbledale.
forward. Marbledale, what do they say?
174. 174.
174
Oh, my
Marbledale.
God. What did I
174.
say?
You said
174. 174 Marbledale, please step forward. Sorry, it's been a long day. Anyone from the public have any comments?
No? Okay.
Please state your name and address for the record, and address all your comments to this board and only to this board. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
There.
I'm Renee Howell. I live at 184 Dante Avenue,
Yeah.
but tonight I'm here representing the Comprehensive Plan Committee. Before that, I would like, if I could, just ask some clarifying questions, because there's a lot of things flying around. So one, I understand that this is a use variance for just one property, but I want to make sure that people understand that any property could come forward for a use variance at any time. Is that correct?
Any,
That's correct.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. The other thing I wanted to mention is there are situations that are different. The Shell restaurant is really, if I understand it correctly, and please correct me if I'm not, is really regarding the reluctance or the refusal of the developer to fix what he has to fix. There have been interest in that property. And the property that you mentioned at Lime Kiln, Mr. Ringwald, is for residential, actually has a beautiful residential plan, so I'm not sure if there's such a huge residential need why that's not going forward, but. So on the behalf of the Comprehensive Plan Committee, I'm not going to read the entire letter. It was sent to the building, but just to bring up the important points. We are really, wanting to emphasize one of the prongs of the test, and that is really around, would the variance alter essential character? And so it's not only the character of a building, but the character of the neighborhood. And really talk a little bit about the character of that area. So the Marbledale corridor was actually originally zoned as industrial, and several businesses that are there still fit that bill. They're industrial. And as such, a holdover of industrial businesses, is that really compatible with the proposed nearby residential use variance from the position of several things like air quality and noise? In 2008, the Marbledale corridor was rezoned as a commercial district with the intent, and this is coming from the 2018 Marbledale design guidance, to enhance the corridor as a business corridor for the village and attract new economic opportunities. That indeed has led to that, and there are several new businesses in the area, namely Pause and Play, the Marriott Hotel, and Broken Bow Brewery, which have helped change the character of that area as intended by the guidelines and brought substantial new revenue to the village. That being said, these businesses have operated in a non-residential zone, and if variants begin to be issued for residential use, it's unclear how things like parking may be affected for both businesses and residents. The businesses do rely on those open parking spaces for patrons. So bringing residents into that area, not only as people who will live there, but also their friends, family, it's not clear how that would be handled. In addition, the businesses, several of them have created spaces and to have outdoor events, and so it's unclear how that kind of noise and the expectations, would be between the businesses and residents. So really, the Comprehensive Plan Committee is not against changing the use or changing zoning of the corridor, but we are against a piecemeal approach to it, because it doesn't allow the realization of the overall intent of the guidelines or of what, we're about to do with a comprehensive plan. And because we're just at the beginning of that comprehensive plan, which will take 1 year to finish, and provide that kind of holistic guidance on what the community would like to see on Marbledale Road, we would ask that the zoning board really consider that. That's it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi.
Good afternoon, good evening.
Mm.
My name is Sandra Reyes-Guerra. I live up at 50 Winter Hill Road, Tuckahoe. I'm also a member of the Master Plan Committee with Renee and the other colleagues here. We are on the cusp, as Renee said, of looking at Marbledale area as a very positive area that has a lot of qualities, as she mentioned, not only the history itself, the current businesses that are there, the ones that have recently opened up, and a lot of very good ideas that we are looking forward to discussing with Fisher Associates, the planning committee, as we are embarking on this master plan. And I think it is premature for something this to come forward. And I don't agree that this is not a self-imposed hardship, because the same hardship has been claimed previously on different developments, even on the residential complex up the hill, stating that there is not a good retail market and or business market in the village or in the area, but this was 10 years ago, so I'm not buying that it's COVID related. It's been hard for a number of years. I don't think it's just COVID. So I do think, and the people that are building this, as they said, have done their homework. So this is an investment for them, and I can understand that it's an investment, and I would, but an investment comes with risks, and sometimes you have to wait a while to realize those risks. And I think a little bit more time is at the very least something that should be granted the consideration for this village and the potential of the work and the potential of the development along Marbledale to become a more vibrant area. In addition, I don't think introducing additional family opportunities, even if it's just one, it's a slippery slope. As we pointed out, the next person down the line can do the same thing. So you're going to have school buses, or a school bus, possibly in the area at 7:30 in the morning and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, around those areas where these businesses have not only the cars with the collision, but the utility trucks and everything else. So it's not only a market. We can sell a use here. It is something that is consistent with the use of a commercial district, and something that we want to, as the master plan committee, come up and encourage and develop and look at alternatives that can make Tuckahoe a much better place. And that includes the development and the improvements that we are looking together with this village, all the way around, with the planning, with the citizens, with our it's going to go through the whole process. And so I do think it's premature to grant something like this. I think that it's not a hardship, and I don't think it is in keeping with the use of this area. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Hello, everyone. My name is Fred Madonna. I own 192 Marbledale, the only residential on Marbledale. Wasn't really planning to speak, but certainly looking at the plan is certainly reasonable, and certainly valuable real estate as far as what that could get as a commercial floor versus that. I'm sure it'll meet a financial test. But as far as the master plan, when I bought 192 Marbledale, it was in really rough shape. I decided to keep it residential, even though there was a new master plan out at the time. It didn't really make sense, the master plan we had then, because it wasn't going to attract the business that we intended. I think the hotel was a one-off. I don't think that was part of the master plan. And also, too, some of the other businesses came because they came, the brewery.
Yep.
Everybody came. So anyway, whatever the next master plan is, it has to include residential. If you want it to be vibrant, you need people. We're not gonna get big offices, we're limited in our space. As far as parking, there's no overnight parking on Marbledale today. If you had overnight parking, you have more parking. The Marriott, there's a space behind the brewery. It's not being utilized. I see now there are people parking there overnight. That's not the hotel. You could build a garage there, you know, a multi-level garage. There's plenty of opportunity. And if you look at Marbledale Road and Westchester, we probably have the best gem of a strip that exists. So I tried to do what I could to keep that residential, try to maintain it. I think I have folks that are happy to live there. So walk to the train, so walk to get a slice of pizza, you know, get the car fixed across the street. It's very convenient. And if there's a plan that doesn't involve residential, it'll fail. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public who would like to speak? Going once? Don't be bashful, we don't bite. Okay, seeing no one else, I'm going to make a motion to leave this public hearing open until our next meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Seeing no other business, I will make a motion to close this meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Good night, Tuckahoe.